Sworn the 402. Welcome to the Nebraska Hawkeyes. These guys are brave. They're Hawkeyes, living in enemy territory. Listen, these guys are way past their prime, but they're still Hawkeyes. They're spreading the Hawkeye hype to all of Nebraska. The frost advisory is canceled. Corn huskers, more like corn suckers. Are you ready for this podcast? Let's go Hawks!
All right, welcome back to the Nebraska Hawks Nest, your Hawkeye oasis located in a nasty, rotten little Nebraska desert. We are excited for the Goodson family. Felicia is already a good friend of the show. Today, Iowa Hawkeye running back, former Iowa Hawkeye running back, Tyler Goodson's father, Maurice Goodson. Sir, welcome to the Nebraska Hawks Nest.
Hey, what's up, guys? Be good, to join you guys on this show and talk about some good fun Iowa Hawkeyes type things and T-Good type scenarios. So, hey,
Yeah,
pleasure to be here, man. Thank you guys once again.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have you on, Maurice, and we really appreciate your time. So thank you so much for being here. So,
Sure.
And go ahead and give us some background, Maurice. We talked a little bit before the interview, but tell it where you're coming to us from where now, and in Atlanta, correct?
Yeah, so we're in Atlanta, Georgia, based there, but we live in a suburb outside of downtown Atlanta, maybe like 20 minutes, town called Suwanee, Georgia. And so that's currently where we reside, man, and good, quick, easy access and good football in the county, Gwinnett County, and, man, that's where we at, man. So we rock and roll with Suwanee.
All right. Well, we got a lot going on with the Goodson family right now. Tyler is taking the big leap a year early. And, we're starting to see that trend a lot with running backs, especially because, like they say, as a running back, you only can take so many hits, only so much tread on the tires. You want to be able to get into the league and capitalize on, all of that tread that you still have left. So, Maurice, go through a little bit about the decision process that Tyler and the Goodson family really went through on deciding to take that next step and why now is the right time.
Yeah, so first of all, let me correct you. It was Tyler Goodson's decision to decide what he wanted to do, right? Yeah, we are the parents, the governors, right, to help govern, to keep the bad anomalies away from them, right? So yeah. I'm here, Felicia here, to put mitigation controls on those type of things. And
sure.
T-Good is a very loyal person, man. And he's committed. He's a team guy first. But he also has some structure around it. And so one of the things that I put emphasis on during his recruiting days, I said, hey, son, you take this piece of paper for all the offers that you have for every school we visit in the country. Give me 10 check boxes. Give me 5 pros, 5 cons. And I said, as we go on these visits, as you're talking to the coaches, write down those things you like, the things you dislike. And those things that you dislike may not be a dislike. Could be some things that you don't even understand or you've never been exposed to before. So we're going to talk about this along the way as we go on these visits. So I say this to say that, man, the structure that he had behind it, making it a process, from high school to the collegiate level was no different. We used the same recipe. It didn't change, right? And so out of all the 40 agents I talked to, man, I talked to agents on a daily basis, man, for the last 7 months, right? And so I kind of shunned T-Good away from that. Just keep him focused on his academics and football on and out the field. Just enjoy college, right? So we take all of that whole ecosystem within that holistic approach, man. I know it challenged him, but he cut the agents down tremendously, man. So I thought it would have been even more stressful on him. And he actually surprised me, even me, Okay. And I say that because it was the way he went about it, man. He followed that same scope, man. It's like you take a theme, right, and you have that use case, and you have that theme support that use case, and then you itemize it and break it down to whereas it alleviates some things. So he cut out the noise and held true to what he wanted to do. And so part of that decision making, yeah, we all discussed and talked about it as a family. But when he came down to it, man, I was so happy. I was glad he did it, right? And it wasn't about treads on the tires. You know what it was? I was telling him, your counterpart there is Providence. Everybody had this cliche, and I'm not knocking it, but everybody had this cliche to say, well, running back, you know, they can't go for so long. Man, I believe in Providence, man. Things meant to happen for a reason, right? So it's not about T. Good thought the program was bad. It wasn't about the O-line. It wasn't about the OC. It's Providence. It was meant to be, you know? So I knew when I looked at my son's eyes and he came and talked to us, man, you know your kid better than anybody.
Yeah.
Right. I knew it was time, man. So that's how meticulously he went about of trying to, you know, make a decision, and we support it wholeheartedly.
So, Maurice, give us a little bit of a timeline. How, you know, pull the curtain back a little bit. How long has this discussion been going on, if we could ask the question?
All year, man. Because you know what? We train for Sundays. We didn't train for Saturdays. The wins was earned back in the summertime, not the fall and the wintertime. We knew we had a gift. We didn't know how it was going to translate to college because whoever does. But when Tyler came in and started doing some things that he has did, right, at a high level, consistently, and that's how you got to perform in order to get the promotion, right? You got to be doing it before you actually get there.
Yeah.
Right. And so we knew, man, it was a great possibility, great chance to stand healthy, you know, keep your grades up, stay eligible. Right. So NFL wasn't always a conversation. We knew potentially he had a gift to go to whatever level it was. Right. So, but we communicated and discussed it all year, man, because I'm telling you, man, before spring ball hit, the agents were already on me. Right. Well before then. So, you know, it was small talk, and I just kind of left it there because I didn't want to get involved there because we was traveling, man, shooting with the YouTube and all of that. So, but that's pretty much how the conversation was pretty much throughout the year, man.
I've always been curious to know what that conversation goes like with the coaching staff. Is that something that you know, Brian or Kirk or whoever brings Tyler in and talks to him, or does Tyler go to the coaching staff and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, what are your guys' thoughts? How does that process work?
Yeah, that process worked basically. Never was communicated to the coaching staff because Tyler wasn't sure what he wanted to do. In Tyler's heart, you know, he's gonna come back and he was gonna stay for all 4 years. That was the whole goal, and he promised us that he's gonna finish his degree. And I said, "Oh yeah, you're gonna finish the degree. We have degrees in our household. You're gonna finish the degree." Taylor and Taven, trigger down effect. I don't care about no freaking NFL. I care about you getting that piece of paper so you can have some fallback on. Right? So don't get me wrong. I do care about the NFL, but you know what I'm saying is I put more emphasis and I care about his education and him able to walk. You know, before football. Let's get that straight. You know, so but that conversation, man, when T Good was ready to go have a conversation with Coach Ferentz, which we respect him very much. He respects us very much. We're very in tune, deeply rooted in that program, man, as parents, right? So I kind of get a lot of good information, you know, before it's out, right? So, and that's the way I would want it. If you, I'm gonna go back to the point, but if you recruit my son, you recruiting me, you recruiting Felicia, you recruiting Taylor, you recruiting Taven. so it's a family joint effort, but at the same time, T Good, man, it's the representation. So with that being said, he basically just called Coach Ferentz and wanted to have a conversation with him and told him some of his thoughts and what he was thinking about, and talked to Brian. And so it wasn't until, you know, maybe like 2 weeks before the bowl, he always had the thoughts towards the end of the season, latter part of the season. But in the season, he wasn't even thinking about the NFL at all. So not at all, man. He was wanting to reach, and you know what he told me? I knew the goals that he wanted to reach and to accomplish. And I told him, I said, hey, sometimes, son, you're going to go through adversity. You may not reach that goal, right? And it's not about nobody else. I say, but collectively as a team, God that you are, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But that was the approach, man. He went about it and called in coach and let him know. And coach, KF supported 100%, right? Respected. It was very happy for him. Brian was very happy for him, and gave him a lot of praise and kudos for it.
Sure. So, am I understanding correctly then, Maurice? So basically, he didn't know for sure, or you did, the team didn't know for sure until a couple weeks before the bowl game. And I by team, I mean the Goodson team. I apologize for not being clear, but the Goodson team really didn't know for sure that this was going to happen until a couple weeks before the bowl game. Or
we had a great idea. Tyler wears the poker face, so you really don't know what he's thinking. But as dad, I knew deep down inside. I knew, right? I knew deep down inside, and so we had a long conversation, consistently about it, right? So I know it was a good chance that he may pull the plug after the bowl, and so but a lot of great conversation been coming down from a lot of scouting reports and a lot of people that we're affiliated with and notice in the NFL, and there's coaches in the NFL, and some GMs and things like that. And so we knew the probability and the projections, even though the mock stuff, I don't get caught up in all that stuff because nobody know how all this stuff works out. You never know where you're going to be in the draft. You can be a first round, you can go third, fourth, fifth round, right? As we all know that today. But we knew based on a lot of information that we received that chances were good. T Good knew that information, and so T Good elected to make an educated decision to go ahead and tell his coaching staff, and from there, that's how the process logistically worked and ironed out. So, and then when he called us maybe 2 days, 3 days before, and he told us that, Mom, Dad, hey, let's talk, let's have this conversation, right? I feel it. It's my time, right? And when he said it was his time, we felt it in his heart. I said, you put God first, you pray about it. I said, you listen to your gut instincts and you listen to us, right? I said, we're going to help you. I said, who has protected you all your life? Your mom and your dad, right? What best person to try to confide into? So he went about it that way, man. And when he told us, and I said, okay, let's have some conversations. And then we took it from there.
All right, Maurice, we ended up signing with Mitchell Moore of Sports Trust Advisors. What
Absolutely.
was it about Mitchell that made him different from everyone else?
Man, Mitch is cool as ever, man. Mitch is cool. I told him funny true story, man. I told him straight. I said, man, you like a nerd. I said, man, with your glasses.
Is this him right here?
Yeah, that's Mitch right there, man.
There we go.
I said, man, you like a nerd, don't know nothing about football, man.
Oh, I love it.
And so, but man, one of the coolest dudes you ever want to meet, man. He was so, I'm going to tell you what separated him. I'm an engineer. My job is very high detail oriented, right? Mm-hmm. That's, I equate that analogy to Mitch. He is that engineer within that agency, man, to where that dude is spot on. I tell him, hey, let's do this. I ask him a question. Hey, can we do this? You know what? Boom, 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 boom. No I not dotted, no T not crossed. Yep. That was the differentiator from all other agents. Everybody said, okay, let me get back with you. No, Mitch, as soon as we on the phone, boom, he'll send something. As soon as we get off the phone, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, I like that quick resolution. I like that, right? That's what you want on your team. Someone that's going to say what they're going to do, and they're going to make it happen, man. That was the difference. That was the common denominator.
Clear down to the technical aspects. He was involved in all the details.
There you go.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. That process, Maurice, how did that go for you guys? I mean, how were there finalists? How did you go about whittling down the amount of candidates?
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. He narrowed it down, and then there was a few finalists, right? You want me to call the names, or you don't care?
No, yeah, that's all right. I was just
if you're willing to do it, let's hear it. Names.
No, I would keep it at surface level. But
okay.
I tell you, it was some big dogs in the agency, very well known, very well respected. They came out to Tyler and wanted to recruit him. We could have went with either one of those guys. Tyler felt comfortable and with all of those guys that he was going to go. But I think it came down to, when I say T Good is a loyal person, right? The NIL had a lot of factors to come into play and deal with that. And I had like awesome relationships to help manage his NIL stuff along with, the marketing firms along the way. Some great people that we met along the way, built some awesome relationships. But this particular relationship that I had, that T Good had, that Felicia had, right? It was bar none, right? It was bar none. And so it was underneath the same umbrella, right? And so T Good saw that. And I wanted them to prove themselves to T Good. Don't prove it to Mo, right? What you proving to me for? Prove it to T Good. He's the recruit. He's the football player, right? That you got to show yourself true to him. And if you're not showing yourself true to him, guess what? He gonna see that. He gonna identify that because he's a family guy. He's a relationship guy. He's a team guy oriented, right? And so when all those things came into play, man, that was the separator with T Good amongst all other agents. And it wasn't until 2 days to the bowl, he dropped one of the top agents in the NFL, and they go with one of the other top agents of the NFL, and that was Mitch Moore, Sports Trust advisors here in Buckhead in Atlanta.
Okay. All right. So Maurice, we know that there is, we have families of players as the years go on they become fan favorites. We had, Frank Garza was a big one, and your family has been, Frank Garza is the man. And, you guys have really become one of those families that the fans are, just as sad as and happy at the same time. It's a sad, happy thing for us.
Sure.
Like, we're excited to see Tyler go to the NFL and be successful, but at the same time, we're going to miss seeing him play in the Hawkeye uniform. The fans are going to miss interacting with the Goodson family at games because you guys have developed such a great rapport with the fans. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that you're going to miss the most about going to Kinnick and going to Iowa City? And what's maybe one thing that you're not going to miss too much?
Man, that's a trick question, man.
You can handle that.
Man, I love everything about Kinnick. The people, oh man, the relationships I built, the food. I'm gonna miss the food, man.
Yeah.
The Iowa pork chops.
Oh yeah, those are good. God.
The grass-fed beef.
Yep.
Right? I'm a foodie, so one thing I'm gonna miss the most is the tailgates early in the morning, drinking the whiskey coffee. I never heard that until I came there. Right? It's those small, subtle things, man.
Okay.
That, as I look back on it, I never took for granted. I experienced the full experience thereof with the whole college football environment on game day. That's one thing that I'm gonna miss.
Okay.
And one thing that I dislike about it is nothing. I don't have a
all right.
It's all pros. It's all pros. Because I embellish. My personality is so big, man. And I get in and talk with the people and enjoy and have fun. Keep them at a certain level though, discreetly, but at the same time I have fun with them, man. And that's where I'm at. It was all pros for me, man.
The cool part about when Tyler was coming to Iowa, Iowa does it a little differently, obviously, as you know. They're very character driven when they bring guys in. They not only do they want you to be able to play that, you got to be able to get it done in the classroom, and they want high character kids. And the cool part about when Tyler committed, we heard just lots of great stories about how great of a kid and how mature of a person Tyler is. And we've heard a lot about this poker face thing, about how when he makes a decision, like nobody really knows what he's going to do, but he's got this I want to say a wisdom of an older man that's been through a lot more and a lot of poise about him. But what's a story about Tyler growing up that maybe is a little bit funny that you and Felicia laugh about? Like, remember when he did this, something that's not maybe so poised, where he actually acted like his age a little bit and not as mature as he does now.
Right, absolutely. It's a little bit pre the young kid T Good is when he was a baby. Man, we had bought a brand new house. We had white carpets, right? Man, Felicia in our early 20s, man. Early 20s. Like, Tyler was born in 2000, right?
Okay.
And so
I feel old now.
We was 22 and 20, man. I was 22, Felicia was 20. And I'm gonna tell you, it was a whole pack of Oreo cookies, man. Black Oreo cookies. Sitting on the table. I already was playing with him. I was wrestling with him, punching his little chest a little bit. We both fell asleep. So he fell on my he was asleep on my chest. Man, I got up. He woke me up. Oreo smeared all in the carpet, man. All in around his mouth, on my chest. And I was like, this dude gonna be into something. He gonna be a mess. You know? So I say that to say this, man. Flip that for some years. When he turned maybe 10 months when he started walking, we went to my father's house. He had a big backyard, fenced-in yard, and he had like this little puppy. I don't know what it was, but I know it was chasing the dog out of Tyler. Man, that puppy started chasing Tyler. He took off, right? And he was running. I'm like, where did this come from? He just started walking. I knew then. I said, dang, this kid may be fast. I don't know. We had speed. All speed ran in my family, man. I mean, we were super fast, right? Mm-hmm. So that was my first interaction. I'm like, oh, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what that meant. You just know he just took off running. And I was like, oh, wow, he may have something. So, man, throughout the younger years, he was a babe, you know, to then until he got up in middle school. He separated from everybody. Like, you know, it was like, I trained to be the best, even though you know you're not going to be the best, but you're going to think you're the best, right? When you walk on the field, I'm the best thing out here since sliced bread. So I instilled that mindset at an early age, and then it became an innate ability, right? And so, and I think, you know, around that 9, 10, 11 age, that's when we start seeing, you know, things start forecasting out, man. So that was kind of the flow.
Maurice, did you always know that football was going to be his sport, or did you have any inclinations that you thought he'd end up doing something else, a different sport?
I know football is going to be it. Like, you know, put him in baseball, never trained, was awesome. Could hit the ball, could feel the ball, was fast, right? Put him in basketball. He was good in basketball, right? Great defense, fast, super athletic. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep him around in multiple sports, right? Because you're better when you're more in tune with, you know, a multitude of different sports, right? Using different muscles, using your thinking process is totally different, right? But I knew track and football was going to be the go-to, and same thing for Taylor. And then as I continued to have that go throughout the years, man, train with some of the best in the country, man.
Okay.
I knew that's what I wanted for my sons, to create the separation, even though I wasn't biased because he was my son. I didn't go out there and say, oh, he's better than everybody else. But at the same time, we wanted to train like that. So that's how, you know, if there was a methodology along with it, that's the kind of structure that I use to help facilitate the where he's at today.
All right, Maurice, we're going to get a little off topic here and kind of go off into the brush a little bit, because that's what we do on this podcast. Now, we were talking a little bit before we got on about how freaking good you look and how young you look. Now, Jerry and I are aging, portly men that aren't aging as gracefully as you are. If two guys just like, say if Adam and Jerry came to Maurice and are like, man, what are some self-care tips you can give us to look better at an older age? What would you tell two guys like us?
You really want to know?
Oh, yeah.
No cap. I'm going to tell you straight up.
All right.
Y'all going to clown me for this, man.
All right.
Gonna clown me for this. So, I work out.
Okay.
Right? I eat halfway decent, right? But, man, I use, like, skincare products. I take care of myself. Like, I have the toners, right? I have vitamin C, right?
Okay.
I have all that stuff, man, that the ladies have, man. So
all right.
I started doing that a long time ago, man. I like to go, you know, get massages. I just like to take care of myself, man. I believe in, you know, if I work hard, I play hard, you know, I want to take care of myself hard. That's my that's my thought process. So, and I think it's just the genes, man. You know, at the end of the day, if you see my dad, man, my dad looks young, and my dad is like 67, bro. You know, and we look like each other, and I mean, I think it's just hereditary. And then also, I put a little emphasis to it and try to, you know, keep myself up the part, man.
Okay. Well, you know, Maurice, coincidentally, I don't do any of those things, and I look like this. And I'm only 25, so come on, man.
Come on, man. Y'all don't look bad, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I was told a while ago beer makes you look younger, but my waistline doesn't seem to agree with that. So.
Man, everybody, you know what? Everybody, man, think I'm T Good's brother, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's not a bad thing.
Come on. I'm like, what? So I get like, man, you like you're 28.
Felicia looks super young too. You guys both do.
Yeah,
so it's just like, I need some of these genes. Like I hear about these like good genetics. Like, man, I exercise, and you know what? We're coming clean here. I'm gonna come clean.
Right.
I use my wife's skincare products on my face too, and it doesn't work.
We do a lot of ginger, man. We drink a lot of juices. Beet juice, celery juice, and all that kind of stuff, man. So we've been, trying to eat better, and we did like vegan for like 3 months. So we kind of incorporated here and there, clean up, and try to think like that sometimes, man. But I think it's just all hereditary, man. Something you can't. I don't think it's something you can make. I think it's all hereditary.
I'm just trying to play the hand I was dealt the best I can.
Yeah, but I tell my boys, I said, "Oh, y'all gonna be bald head, bro. Don't even try." No, Dad, we gonna be bald. Yeah, watch. Yeah.
Well, there's people that look really good bald, and then like you have a giant head like here. I got a big dome. I wear a 7 5/8 hat. Like if I lose my hair, I'm in trouble. So it's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, Maurice, we had a little conversation before we came online here, and something I've always been curious about as a parent myself. And, we've had to eat a little crow at the Nebraska Hawks nest about some of these things, but how do you deal with all the Twitter, the social media? It's not all flattering.
Correct.
And as a parent, how do you deal with that? I guess number one, as a parent, and number two, how do you deal with it when it's about your kid?
You know how I deal with it? I was a ball player, man, right? I was a ball player. And what sports taught me growing up was about confidence, believing in yourself. I always win even when I'm losing, right? So when I'm losing, I'm thinking I'm always winning. So I'm telling you, man, I instilled those principles in my boys. And I told them, hey, man, it's going to be people that talk about you when you do good. What the heck you think they're going to do when you do bad, right? I said, T Good, you're not going to have the best run. Sometimes you're not going to fill the gap. Sometimes you're going to miss a block. Sometimes you're not going to see the cutback lane. I'm like, hell, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Right? And I equate this to this. I equate my, like, what I do for work to that. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm on a corporate bonus structure where I have to have a performance plan. Like I said, the CTO, CEO, CFO, they grade me. Just like you guys. Someone is above you, and someone you have to adhere to. So you always gonna be a performance plan. Whether you're exceptional, right? Exceptionally, or you're a meet, or you're a C's, or you just don't do, right? You're not good. I said, so man, for me, I laugh at it. I think it's comical. Even though it's about my son, I know who my son is.
Yeah.
Then also I look at him like, you do it. You do it. All that crap. I want to say something else, but all that crap that you see out there, put them in his shoes. You do it.
Yeah.
Right? Simply put. So, and the way you give a kid an opportunity, like even on the coach staff, even at our, you can't say a kid can't do anything unless you put him in put him in harm. You put him in that situation. Now, if he can't do it, he can't do it.
All right.
But you'll never know until you put him in. So, man, it's providence, man. It's meant for T Good to go to the next level, to live out his dream the way he always wanted to. For all of the traveling throughout the country, for all the hard work he put in, can't nobody come and tell me like my son's not ready. Only person knows that he's ready is T Good himself.
Okay. All
right. And so that's how I deal with it, man. So it doesn't bother me, man.
That's good advice, and good advice, I think, for all of us to live by and to listen to. But we're going to send you off with one last question, because we know you got a lot going on. Life's busy. You got better things to do to sit and talk to Jerry and I all night.
I appreciate it, man. It's all good.
April 28th is draft night. Now, Jerry and I already rented our tuxedos. Where is the draft party going to be?
we're gonna have a nice draft party, man, in Buckhead. So
Okay.
we'll have a nice facility. It's gonna be media there. We're gonna do a lot of nice things, man, to just like a big celebration milestone for T Good, man.
Cool.
And this, I think this is the second best thing that happened to him in his life outside of him being born. Right.
Yeah.
So, I told Felicia, I said, we're gonna celebrate our son because this is an opportunity that most don't get. Right. And I said for him to go consistently, at a high level from young to mid to the young man that he is today, collegiately, collegiate wise. I said, you have to celebrate that. Right. So I'm not going to wear no suit. I'm going to come down smooth, clean with my hat on, chilling and celebrate my son, with some family members and his friends. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have an awesome night, man.
Okay.
So,
we'll send over some pictures of our tuxedos night of the draft so you can see them.
I was just going to say, Adam, I gleaned the answer that we're not invited. So,
hey, man,
all good.
Guys, come if you want to.
So, Maurice, I do have one more a part A and a part B question, but will the Goodson family be down in Orlando then for the Citrus Bowl activities, being so proximate there in Atlanta? And then secondly, as Maurice looks back at it as a dad, what's going to be your favorite Iowa moment that you were there to experience?
No, for one, we won't be at the Citrus Bowl. We're gonna have a huge going away party for Tyler before he actually leaves. He trains in Dallas, Texas at Exos. So we're gonna have a huge party on that day. So it's going away, send him off, man, for a good time to celebrate the end of his season and for what he did throughout Iowa. So that's why we're not gonna be at the bowl. Then two, my favorite all-time moment at Iowa is when I landed and my son told me he was starting on the tarmac. That was my not outside the touchdowns, the runs and all of that was fantastic. Right. But I knew when he told me, I'm being straight up, when he told me he was starting, it was a wrap. I had a pure confidence. I knew while I was going there, there was a good chance that it was going to happen sometime. Didn't know how it was going to translate, but I knew when he would get in, when it was pop, it was going to pop because he trained for it. So that's the confidence that I had as a dad and wasn't biased. And I like the other guys there. And I'm going to tell you, I have great relationships with the guys that was before T Good. I talked to them in text. I called them, I FaceTime them, right? I talked to them, hey, be that advocate, like that big brother to those guys, right? So that's how I am as a dad, right? I just don't go through the program, we're going to the game, we don't talk about it. No, I build them character, man. Right. And I'll be an All-American. So I want those other kids to be All-Americans in their respective ways. And so that's my favorite all-time moment when he started.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you right now, my favorite all-time Tyler Goodson highlight is anything that he did against Nebraska. So
absolutely.
Hey, but you know what? He almost went to Nebraska though.
I heard.
Really?
You know what? It was all because that year Tyler was early committing in December, right? So we only gonna do 2 officials because we wanted to say the other 3 in the season after the season, right, for high school. But Nebraska coaching staff wouldn't allow him to come on early as we went, but Coach Ferentz did. And so Tyler's like, okay, they're not gonna let me, come early because I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna decide before the season starts. Then Nebraska's not for me.
I stand behind my statement still. My favorite moments are still everything he did against Nebraska. I'm just more thankful now he came to Iowa than Nebraska.
Well, you guys got family in the Omaha area, don't you, Maurice?
No, we don't have family.
I thought Felicia said you guys had family out there.
Her dad used to be a pastor out there.
Okay.
Technically, family is not our biological family members, but we call them our family. It's like a brother and sister to us. That's like family, that long lifetime friends. And so we treat them as and call them family, even though biologically they're not, but they are.
All right. Well, Maurice, enjoy the process. This is going to be an exciting time right now for you guys, for Tyler, for the family. And we're going to just sit back as fans and watch and wish you guys nothing but the best. We're really excited and we're going to be behind you guys the whole way, the whole NFL journey. You know how Hawk fans do it. We're going to be getting our T Good NFL jerseys and supporting him the whole way. That's what we do. We follow our guys.
Yes, sir, man. And I appreciate all the love, all the support, man, and walk this walk with us along his journey, man. But I told him one thing. I said, man, everywhere your foot should tread up on, it's going to be blessed. So everywhere your guys' foot should tread up on, it's going to be blessed. And we thank you for the love and support to even have me on here, man, just to show love and talk a little ball and talk a little bit about T Good, man. It's very appreciative. And I thank you guys for having me here.
We appreciate your graciousness in coming on. Like I said, I mean, social media is not exactly always the greatest place to go. So we thank you for coming on and being on our show. So thank you, Maurice.
Sure. I appreciate it, man. And you guys have a great night. And thank you for your time.
All right. You too, Maurice.
Best of luck to the Goodman family. Goodson family.
Absolutely. Thank you,
guys. All right. Thanks, Maurice. Go Hawks.
Yep. Hey, inbox me too. I want to ask you guys a question.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you.
All right.